Yeah, when I first came to Korea, I didn't have any friends, but now I guess you can say I have some friends.
Driving me crazy with that fire in your eyes. Oh, but I try to ignore it. Part of me wants to see you read between the lines. And all of the back and forth, the signals intertwine. Baby, won't you take your time? Really love me. Your heart be falling right into mine.
So, welcome back to the video, everyone. Thank you so much for the last video. I don't know how much I'll have by the time I post this video, but last video I checked the statistics and I had like maybe around 20-30 subscribers from that one video. So thank you all so much for subscribing, all the new people and all the people who have subscribed for some time. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It seems like there's like positive feedback about the videos, and so I'm gonna keep on rolling with the series. Not that I was gonna give up if the performance was poor, but it's nice to see that people like the video, so I'll keep going. Today's video, as you can see, still filmed in my room. I think I'm still a little bit scared about filming outside, still a little bit nervous. Plus here there's like no noise, so you can hear me somewhat clearly. As you heard before, when I first came here, I didn't really know anyone. Actually, all my family immigrated outside of Korea, so I don't really have any family here, maybe a couple people, but the people that do live here that are my family, I don't really know them that well. So I would like to say that when I first came to Korea, I maybe only knew 3 or 4 people. I really didn't know anyone when I first came to Korea. And so it was really tough for me to find friends or find a community here because I lived in Seattle my whole life, going to a new country, not knowing anyone. And since it had been my first time in Korea like 3 years ago, just as a trip when I came here by myself, I didn't know the culture, still don't know the culture really, and I didn't know that many people here. So life here, if I didn't find a community, would be kind of lonely. And even though like I'm ethnically Korean, to be honest, like people don't see me as Korean here, just because my whole life I grew up in the US, I was born there and everything. It's funny because here I'm considered American, whereas in the US I'm considered Korean. For this video, I don't really want to delve too much into it, but basically I feel like an outsider here, and so kind of finding communities is a little bit tough. Like, even though I look Korean, sometimes I've been discriminated. Like, I know it's kind of weird to say, but some people don't want to hang out with me because I'm not Korean, if that makes any sense. Like, don't know the culture, I don't speak the language, and so when I try to find social groups here, some people tell me like, oh, sorry, we don't want you to be in this group because you're not Korean. I thought maybe I'd make this video to show everyone or tell everyone that it's possible to make friends here in Korea, find communities in Korea. It's just a little bit tough. You have to put some work in, but eventually it'll be okay. And so I'm going to try to like talk about my experience here in Korea, finding community, finding friends, and maybe along the way it can help you all if you're looking for this type of thing. I think that there are maybe 2 or 3 things that make it difficult to find friends in Korea or find communities if you're not already in the system here. And I think the first reason, everyone is so busy here in Seoul and even in Korea. And so like even my friends these days, like some of them I don't even see them because they have their schedules packed months in advance. Whereas like I think in the US, like if I were to call up a friend, I'd be like, oh, you want to hang out this week? And they'll be like, oh yeah, sure. Whereas here, if I'm like, oh, do you want to hang out this week? They're going to have to be like, oh, let me check my schedule and maybe in 2 months we can hang out. And so everyone here is like packing their schedules. It's more, I feel like, busy. I'm not sure if it's because of the work culture, because there's so much overtime here. People work maybe like 70 hours a week here, that every spare second that they have, they are very particular about how they spend that time. That, I think, makes it very tough. And I guess another reason is, well, I mentioned kind of earlier, the discrimination. I don't face it as much as maybe some other racial groups. Even though ethnically I'm Korean, I do face some discrimination to some extent. Korea is, I would say, a homogenous society, so everyone looks the same. And they all kind of follow the same values. And so a foreigner, even someone who looks ethnically the same but doesn't know the culture, can be kind of shunned. And so I think other foreigners feel this type of thing. And so unless people have studied abroad, it's hard to find people that are willing to meet with you, hang out with you, and spend time with you, especially if you're not Korean. And so I think those 2 things make it a little bit tough in Korea especially. And so I'm going to give you some ways that I found communities because I was able to find communities here in Korea. If you came to Korea not through work or not through a university, that makes it particularly hard. Because if you're in a university, if you're in a work organization, though they have programs to assimilate you into Korean society, communities, they might help you to make the process a little bit easier. However, if you're like me or like a traveler who's coming to Korea, who doesn't have a university, doesn't have a workplace that's helping you out, it might be tough finding friends here. And so there are programs, there are like apps that will help you. And I think if I let you know here in this video, it might make it a little bit easier if you do ever come here. The ways that you can kind of meet people is like split into two different categories. One is if you're wanting to meet Korean people, and the other one is if you want to meet other foreigners. To meet Korean people, I think the best way to do it is if you use Flip, 소모임, or LST. And the reason why I'm saying this is because 소모임 and Flip, as I'm even saying it, they're Korean words, and so the app is Korean, so you have to communicate in Korean. You have to like search everything in Korean. However, what I did, because my Korean's not that great, is that I would take screenshots of whatever and translate it through Papago or like Google Translate or even ChatGPT to kind of give me a rundown what to say, and then I would just communicate using ChatGPT as my interpreter. And so, like I said, I have been like discriminated against, I guess. Like some people say they don't want me to join the group because I'm not Korean. And so, as you go through the app, you'll kind of see and learn which groups are open to meeting new people. But I think Korean people in general, especially if they're the younger generation, they're more willing to help you, especially if you're interested in learning about the culture, the language. If you're open to learning about Korean culture, I think people are more accepting. One thing I'll say though, Flip, 소모임, maybe Flip is more like dating, I would say. 소모임 is like for meeting people. And so the last one I mentioned was LST. Actually, I do a part-time job there. Not that I am sponsored by them at all by any means, but I think they do a good job. That's where I met a majority of my friends. They do a great job of integrating foreigners into the Korean community and like having a balance of here being Korean culture, here being foreign culture, and kind of blending the two into one. So I think they do a great job of that. And Korean people who go to these events at LST, they're already knowing that prior to going, and so they're more open to talking to foreigners, being friends with them. And so I'd recommend that. However, if you want to meet more international people in Korea, there are a lot of places you can do that. Well, one, you can go to Itaewon or Haebangchon or Hongdae. You can go there, and so you can meet people there just naturally walking around. Or if you want something that's more not forced but organized, you can go to some Hagwon, Korean academy that's not officially a university, and maybe learn Korean, because there are people who are interested in the culture, learning Korean. They're all coming from different places all over the world just to learn Korean. And so you can go there. I met a lot of people there too. Some people I still keep in contact today. And so I've been very lucky to meet such great people so far. Oh, also one thing too, how I learned about LST, just a shout out. I don't know if this video will gain any traction, but if it does, it'd be great, because one person that helped me quite a bit, her name's Rachel. She's like maybe influencer here in Korea, but we networked at some event, and she's the one who introduced me to a lot of these programs. And so I guess I'm really grateful to her. But recently she started a community here called Cove Seoul, and they help foreigners integrate into the Korean system. I'm not entirely sure what direction they're going right now, but she just made it. There's a group chat here. I can put the link here or something. Here. And you can check it out yourself. But if you're a foreigner coming to Korea, you can check that out, or check the other resources I mentioned in this video. I've been meeting tons of people here in Korea, to be honest, and it's really interesting because I didn't know too many people here, but I have met so many people now. And I think all the people I've met have been interesting in various ways. I've learned a lot of things from those people, good and bad experiences, so it's great to hear. But every place has those types of things. But what I want to say about maybe Korean people is that they do have this wall in the beginning. Once you're able to kind of get past that wall and get to know them better, they're very welcoming. And so I think there's this stereotype that Korean people are very cold and maybe not willing to become friends with people, but I think they are more so just cautious. And once you're able to kind of gain their trust, something called chung, Korean chung, they're willing to, open up and actually be friends with you. Because of my friends that I've made here, Korean, foreign, I've been able to have so many great experiences here. And so because of them, you just have to invest a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, a little bit into the language, learn Korean if you want to make Korean friends, then you'll have like a great time here in Korea. And so it's only been 1 year here, and so I can't even imagine what it would be like if I were to stay here a lot longer. So I want to tell you these ways because if I had known that there were these methods way before I came here, they'd be the first priority I did. And so it took me like 4 or 5 months to actually figure out these methods, that there were apps like this that existed. And it was only until like my Korean teacher told me, like Rachel told me, even like other friends would tell me. I don't know. I feel like online they don't really say, they say like other things, but I think these are the best ways to make friends because I met so many people through them already. And so anyone watching, if you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments below. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.